Our country itself is sick. That it's lost its sense of direction, even its common decency.
You don't so much as wiggle a finger.
Hey Ozzy, how are you, man?
How are you? I'm doing great.
I want to check out your music.
Okay.
Just make sure you send it to me.
No problem.
Don't disappoint me now.
I won't.
Okay.
I promise I won't.
All right.
All right. Well, first of all, congratulations on the film.
Thank you, man.
Let's talk a little bit about your style, because I feel like you have such a unique style when it comes to storytelling and just visual presentation. What kind of inspirations, or what was the process of developing that Baz Luhrmann style?
I was brought up on a diet of kind of old 50s movies or 40s movies or musicals, stuff that in the 70s people weren't really seeing, you know? And because I was so isolated, I think it programmed me to have this sense of romance and drama.
Well, you may go to college, you may go to school, you may have a pink Cadillac, but don't you make nobody's fool now, baby.
I've tried to find a language that is true to me, which is both very old-fashioned and very modern and in the moment. And in the end, it's just the way I tell stuff. I mean, you know music.
Yeah.
Like, you can take a tune that someone else sings, but you got to make it your own.
Yeah.
You got to sing it in your way, and that's all I do.
Well, you definitely did that with all of your films. Well, speaking of that, because to me, I feel like when I watch your films, it feels like I'm time traveling, you know?
Yeah.
The question is, if you had a time machine right now, which era would you travel to?
Well, I have a time machine. And it's called making movies. And I just decide, where do I want to live? So when I did The Great Gatsby, I literally lived in the world of the 1920s, 4 years.
I beg your pardon. Mr. Gatsby would like to speak to you. Alone.
I came to Graceland, where we are now, where I was able to be invited by the Presley family to a barbecue last night at Graceland 5 years ago. I've been living the life of Elvis and Elvis World for 5 years. Ozzy, I would live the life of the movies I time travel into, Moulin Rouge, you know?
Yes.
I would live them and never made the movies.
Right. I feel like music plays such a big role in all of your films. And, you know, we've seen so many different times. You mentioned about putting old-fashioned music, old music, but then like delivering in such a modern way. And I feel like this time with Elvis, you have the whole entire Elvis's catalog to work with. And just curious what your approach was in this time and just the idea.
Well, you know what? I've got like classic Elvis in it. And then Austin Butler actually sings all the early Elvis, which I've had to put a video out to prove it. People don't believe it. I've got a great song in the movie, you know, it says Elvis's influence on music continues. So Eminem has done a song called King and I, which is about him and Elvis. I don't know if in Taiwan they call Elvis, I don't know if younger people know him, but I think they call him Cat King, you know?
Yeah.
Mawan, is it?
Yeah.
Mawan?
Wow, yes, definitely.
Mawan, yeah.
Wow, you speak Chinese, that's incredible.
No, I don't speak Chinese. I know I can say Mawan, yeah, 谢谢. But that's about it. But I'm so interested as to whether we can re-enliven and make us understand that Elvis was a young guy too. He was a rebel too.
Right.
You know, he found his way. And that, for young musicians and young people in general, the most important thing, find your language. Find the way it's not the things you say haven't existed before, but you have to find a way of saying it that's yours. Own it.
100%.
You know?
Well, thank you so much. That'll be it for me. Yeah, thank you.
I just gotta be making the most of this thing while I can. This could all be over in a flash. We are the same, you and I. We are two odd, lonely children reaching for eternity.
The greatest show on earth.
Elvis has left the building.